morning. Good morning. Virgo, I'm going to wait for you guys to come into the room. We're at the end of the month. Okay. We are at the end of the month. We have a new month coming. Virgo, are you guys prepared for the next 2 months, which is literally before we even get into 2026? That went by so fast. 2025 went by so stinking fast. Virgo, we're going to go ahead and get into your reading. And of course, we're going to be using different cards here. You guys already know how I get down with this. I'm going to do what I was going to do the other day. I'm going to actually use the Tarot and Oracle cards first. And if I feel like I have to pull something else, I will. But we're going to go ahead and get into the reading, Virgo. Now, I do want to pull an element card. Let's just do that first. Let's just pull your element card. We're going to see what's going to come out here for you, Virgo. Let's get it. I'm not going to be on here that long, though, because I do have to do Taurus and Sagittarius. And I do have reads. So, oh my God, I've been up since, what, 5 o'clock. Don't even ask me why I'm just now coming on. I was chilling, baby. When I tell you I was chilling, I was chilling. All right, let's get this for Virgo. Let's get one element card for Virgo. You had one that popped out, but I just want to kind of do it this way. Here you guys have Super Moon that's coming out here. It says emotions. Now, this is a thing. I want to read all the definitions on these element cards because it is going to hit you one way or the other. Or there's different people watching. That means I want to be able to relate to all of those who come in the room. Okay? Here. Now, this may not be right now, but it could. But it could be tomorrow, right? Here it says emotions running high. This could be you cutting cords with people. This could be surfacing of old issues, and we don't like that. We don't like old issues resurfacing. We don't like it, but it could be happening at this point. Something that you may hear or something that someone may say that can kind of trigger this. Drama. No. Boo. Drama. No drama. Okay. It says revealing what's hidden. That means you are finding something out about someone. Okay. Or something. It says restlessness, but I love the last one. Positive changes at hand. So even if you're experiencing, some issues here with your feelings, maybe you're just feeling very emotional right now. Maybe there's things that you're struggling with internally. It says that there's a, possibility of that positive change at hand. This is not really a possibility. We know that that's going to happen for Virgo, but I like that. But let's see what card actually fell out here for you. You had, okay, now this is the thing. This card was the one that fell because I remember when I popped. So air element was the card that fell, but this was the card that I wanted to use. So here with earth element, you are earth. You are earth. You are grounded, you're stable, or you should be. And if you're not, that means that there could be something going on with your thinking, which is the reason why the air element is coming out. Well, we're going to read that. Here it says, this is you, and this is what will occur. Stability. Okay, this is talking about the physical world, the things that you're able to obtain. Here it talks about you being very practical. It talks about having a solid foundation, being patient. I get it. I know that's like the worst word for Virgo to hear. Patience. Please don't. Okay, get out of here with that. Yes, we don't want to talk about patience anymore. It says being rooted and grounded. I love this energy. I love it. Because what does this mean specifically for you, really? Okay, you've been through a lot, and here with the earth element card, we already saw some of you guys may be crying, right? Or you're in your feelings, and there's been a lot of drama, right? You guys have found some shit out that just completely threw you through a loop, and you're like, wow, I can't believe I'm here. And the earth element is like, okay, I got you. Right? I'm going to bring you back down to earth. I'm going to bring you back down. I'm going to stabilize you. And this also comes down to your money as well. Right? So it's like maybe there's been some issues and chaos with your money. You see how the arrow is going down? So this is what I'm saying here. Regardless of what you've experienced, I'm seeing the stability and this grounded energy here for you, Virgo. Now, this is interesting because this just so happened fell out. Like I said before, I was just popping in and you'll see when it popped out, okay? How have you been during the process of this? So if the universe is basically saying that they're trying to ground you and stabilize you, does that also include your thinking? Right here it says this is, your thoughts. But this is also the way people communicate with you, what they say, sometimes what they don't say. That could have you what? All up in the air. You see, this was the first card that came out. The second literally was the ground. We need to pull you back down, because this is what happens when you start dating people. You start, you're not thinking correctly, right? You could be dealing with someone who's very aloof. You're kind of like, and this is what I don't like, especially with this air. And this happens with people who are not even romantic partners. This is just people in general. They kind of have you confused, right? A little like, a little suspended. And we don't want to be suspended. So I feel like the air has been the issue for a lot of you. Okay, maybe there's been a lack of clarity or whatever, but you also see that I like this part about air where it says, now you're starting to use your head. Because before it was your heart or your emotions, which we know which is there, your emotions over logic. And we're not doing that anymore. Okay, I like the fact that it says it's not emotional, or you're not going in here with motions. Emotions is saying that this is motion. Now this is motion. Yes, we're going to bring you down, but we're also going to be moving too. Okay. Now, of course, for some of you this weekend, you guys could be traveling. We've been seeing a whole lot of travel, in the readings for most Virgos. Oh, I almost missed one. Look at the one here where it says being in the cloud. Come on, come down. Come on down, Virgo. Okay. Get out of that scattered energy. Get out of all of that whole, like I said, that suspendedness, where you guys are being distracted by everything and everybody. Okay. I definitely see communication here, so do not get distracted. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get into it. Now I'm going to push this aside. I know I probably should not pull these two over here, but I'm going to, just because these cards I'm about to use are pretty large. Okay. And I was supposed to use these the other day and I did not. I think I used it at the end. Let's go ahead. Let's get this for Virgo. Let's see what's coming out here for Virgo. As much as I want to do it on camera, yeah, that's not going to work. I'm going to hit it. Let's see. This is for Virgo. Let's see if you guys can see it fall though. All right. Oh, wow. I didn't realize that there was two of them that came out. Give me a second. First card that's coming out here for you, Virgo. 3 of Swords. Look at that. Ooh. 3 of Swords. Now, this is interesting because literally it says emotions running high. Now, this doesn't have to be right now. You guys already know. Okay, I have to keep you guys informed with the way that I read. Of course, a lot of things are going to relate to the present, but I read majority of the time future. Now, I get it. You're like, well, why the hell is that 3 of Swords coming out? The 3 of Swords is talking about how you have been in great sadness. And there's a purging that's actually happening. But we already saw that there is something that's triggering you. We saw that even, 2 days ago? We saw that 2 days ago, right? Now, here it says, you can feel great sadness that heal with time, and you are in the process of that. A lot of y'all ain't healed. We're not saying that you have to go through pain again. We're saying you're not healed from what you've experienced already. Okay? Look at what it tells you to do. Let go of the past. All right? It talks about personal growth that comes from challenges. What did you learn from that? And I bet you're a different person now. I bet that's true. How much you want to bet, right? Remember you're little, you're like, okay, let's bet. All right. Here it says, for some of you, this is healing misunderstandings with whoever. Don't put a person on that. Don't attach that to any particular person. Healing misunderstanding. That's why I said the 3 of Swords isn't what you think it is. This is healing, a healing process. That's where a majority of you are. Okay. Here you have being there for those in need. Now that right there is true because you are the one that is there for the brokenhearted. Okay, now this is true for me. Okay, this is true for me. All right, because half the stuff I be reading don't be happening for my ass. Okay, you can already tell y'all that. Okay, it does not. But one thing that I can tell you is that yes, that is absolutely true. And now this could be someone that's a friend. This could be, you know, this could be whoever, really. Like, again, I don't like to really put people onto that because I don't really know where this can come from. But it does have that energy. But you are a Virgo. You are the service member. Okay, you're the service worker. Okay, regardless of what you do for a living, that's you. But you got to be careful about that, though. What do I say, Virgo? You guys, most of y'all are here. You've been here forever, right? What do I say? Virgos always, you know, bring in the stray cats. Okay, we always got to do a fixer-upper. We're the fixer-upper. Always got to bring in a fixer-upper. We got to fix stuff. Okay? And that's what we're good at. But you got to be aware that it depends on who that person is in your life. Okay? You don't want to be bringing somebody in who you got to fix up. Okay? We don't want an old house that we got to renovate. Okay? Unless that's just something that you like. Okay? But as far as actual real house that you want to renovate, yes, but not when it comes down to a person, because you've done that before. And look at where you are now, which is the reason why the Three of Swords even came out to begin with, because you were the fixer-upper and you left empty-handed. Now remember, this card literally says what? Growth, personal growth from what? Challenges. You won't be doing that again. You don't have a problem with extending yourself, but we are not about to be doing that again. Isn't that interesting? We're not about to sacrifice ourselves. And now you're awakened to your mistakes and the things that you've been doing in relationships. And I'm not saying that it's easy. I promise you, I'm not saying that it's easy. But I actually think that it's interesting even with awakening, because awakening can come in different forms. The way that you view the world, the way that you view your family, the way that you view love. You know, you may not even have the same beliefs about love the way that you used to. You may not. Okay? You are coming back to life. We talked about that before. And even if it's not necessarily a resurrection, it is definitely an enlightened moment. And here, this is what it says. It says, but for you. Let's read it. Let's see, because we already know this is the Hangman, and this is what it talks about. Here it says, a temporary pause for reflection and insight. Of course you need that, especially if you've already experienced this heartbreak, this pain, this disappointment. Yes. Don't you think that you need to meditate and reflect on what you've experienced? Okay, don't run into something else. Here it says, an awakening where you see things in a whole new light. This is you embracing your own uniqueness, because not all of us are the same. And we should love who we are. And it also says it there, what does it say? Charitable actions. There it is again. You're going to be doing that in this lifetime, but it doesn't have to go, you know, without appreciative, like reciprocal, without a reciprocal nature. Okay. Look at what's at the bottom of the deck. I didn't expect that. Now, you guys already know I do not read these cards the way that they are read, but I'm going to read it because it's going to relate to somebody. Here it says a happy marriage. There are people here who want that. Literally. Now, everybody wants to be happy, but not everybody believes in like that full-blown marriage stuff, okay? Some people just are okay with lifetime partners, but it is a happy energy. Ten of Cups is just this happiness. And for some of you, part of how you see your future is to be in a happy marriage where you can have children, where you can have a nice home, where you feel safe. And I'm going to be honest, even if you get it, there's still going to be worries because we're living in this world, right? You have kids and now you're worried about your babies all the time. Oh my God, that was probably the worst for me. I didn't have worry the way that I had it until I had my son. I didn't even think that it was a way to worry like that. I didn't know there was a such thing to worry like that. Okay. So yeah, I mean, it's amazing, right? You can be married, you can have all that, and you can love the fact that your child is born, but then boom, all of a sudden there's a worry that could come out of the blue. So there's always going to be something, but the idea of what you want could actually occur. Here it says happily ever after, exactly however you see for that to be. Here it says emotional contentment, exactly however you see fit for that. You're like, I'm emotionally content, like I'm good. And this could even be a surprise to you because you're like, I don't think I've ever felt like that. But remember, your perspective has changed. Your circumstances have changed. You've learned a lot before you got to this place. Hear it again. It says a loving relationship with your children, raising children wisely and successfully. And it says people that you can trust. Okay? I love it. Let's go ahead. Let's get another card here for Virgo. Yes, savior complex without even knowing it. Savior complex here for Virgo sometimes. Let's keep going. This is for Virgo. This is for Virgo. All right. Ooh, hello. Now, you got this at the bottom. I want you guys to see. Got to be very transparent. And you got this. We're going to read the bottom of the deck in a minute. This is you. Now, remember, we started off with this card here with what? With the earth element. We already saw what it said, right? It said the physical world, what you're able to, possess. It talks about your stability. It talks about the groundedness and being very well rooted, right? Now, listen, look at this card. Let's see what it says. Generosity, practicality, graciousness, materialistic, not always necessarily the best, but that could be it, right? The ability to make anything more beautiful, a love of family and home. Do you see the themes here? Do you see the themes? And what does your home look like? It's going to be different from everyone else, right? So Nets is going to be different from Mama Bear. Mama Bear is going to be different from Soul, right? Taurus woman is going to be different from Vanita. It's going to be different. Not everybody has the same kind of vision of what they want their home to be. Okay? Here it says, be practical about how you proceed. Now that sounds just like the card we got 2 days ago that said what? Cautious. And when I'm like, this is not what we think. It is giving you a warning before something happens. It's like, hey, you don't have to experience that, but just know that something is there. Now that happens with your money. That happens in relationship. It is a caution. Be practical. This is you using your what? Your head. Now I see. You see how they're just snapping off. There it is again. Head over heart. The reason why this is coming out because that's not what has been happening. It's like, hello, Virgo, ding, ding. We need you to pay attention to this because this is what you're not going to be doing because you're so generous. You're so gracious. You're so generous, though. And that is where you could F up because a lot of you give too much because it's because of your heart, because of who you are on the inside. And it ends up, people are taking advantage of you. Here it says a love of art and beauty. Now, I don't know anybody who loved, and I'm not going to say that Virgos don't love money, baby. Every earth sign loves money. But Taurus got this thing down when it comes down to how they have certain things to look. And unless you got Libra or Taurus in your chart, that Venus placement have you on point. And you probably need to know where what's in those houses if you are uncertain what is in there. Because you could have literally a Venus Taurus or a Venus Libra and you are fine. Your home is gorgeous, right? You have this desire for nice things and you're going to be able to get them, to possess them, right? This is what it says. Here it says a sensible approach. Now you're level-headed. Now you're like, okay, ain't nobody gonna leave me hanging. I ain't about to be sacrificing myself for this person without any kind of like reciprocity. At least see that they're trying. Okay, this is where we are right now. Here with the card releasing. Endings that led or that lead to new beginnings. Now, the reason why I say that is because, again, it started off literally with the whole Three of Swords, right? So some of you guys already know you're already in that place. Oh, give me a second, y'all. My bad. I literally almost forgot to put my do not disturb on here, and I would have been upset had I not been able to finish Virgos. And if it starts spinning, it's just because someone is leaving a voicemail. It'll come back. This goes back to like the Three of Swords, what I was basically saying. You're in this healing process, and it's like look at it for what it is. It is a time, a new path for a new beginning. Okay, here it says the need though to release situations or people that hold you back. Now, this is interesting because I remember doing your read 2 weeks ago, I believe, where I said that. Okay, I remember Virgos and Sagittarius and Taurus and Capricorns reading a lot because I do you guys readings a lot, and I remember this came out. Okay. What are you holding on to that is no longer around? Which is the reason why the Three of Swords came out anyway. Because are you still sitting in heartbreak? Or are you doing the necessary healing in order to move forward? So here it says it is a release. You must release that person's energy, the thought of them, what they've done to you, all of that. And again, it doesn't have to be romantic. It literally took me like 2 years to forgive a friend, quote unquote, right? For something that they done. I'm not even friends with the person. Of course, after that, you don't trust them anymore. But it took me a long time for me to even be like, I'm not even like pissy about it. Okay? It took me a second. Because I'm like, I can't believe they even did that. You see what I'm saying? So for a lot of you, you may have to just, learn how to let go of situations of people who may have done you dirty. Here, and it also talks about this is a spiritual transformation for a lot of you, really. Because again, we talked about how there's going to be a perspective change for you, but why is that even occurring? How are you, like spiritually it happens in the mind, and basically it's a little bit deeper. It's hard to kind of explain what spirituality means to people. It's not just your belief, it's something just deeper than that. And so there is this depthness of how you view yourself, you view the world, you view people, and that is how you're walking into life, walking into the world, not the same person. Okay, so a lot of you are going to be completely different from who you were last year. Okay, completely different. Let's get your last card. This is for Virgo. Let's see what comes out here for you. This is for Virgo. Thank you. Hello. You got the Magician and you got the Two of Wands at the bottom of the deck. I'm saving the Magician for last. Let's get this Two of Wands. Two of Wands, you guys already know means what? Okay, you already know what this means for me. It is, you see how they're looking forward, okay, and you see how there is like the world there, like it's like, okay, well, you have things to look forward to. It's like that old saying, like the world is your oyster. I mean, technically in this day and age, I mean, it's hard to obtain certain things, right? However, it's like you look forward, you have the reason to be looking forward. That means something is happening to you, okay, in a really good way. Now here it says taking next steps. Now the Two of Wands does talk about making a decision, needing to make a decision. That's number one. And here it says bold and ambitious choices, partnering with others who share your ideas and dreams and vision. Here it says expanding your plans, continue to move forward. Okay. And will you? Absolutely. Absolutely. Here you have magic is alive in your life. That's not true. I haven't seen it. Yes, it's not true. It's just not happening for me. I always have to remind you guys, we are living in a winter period, not based on weather. not based on weather. We got to get out of these next few months. For some of you, if you know anything about signs, there's been people who have been suffering for the past 8 years based on cardinal, fixed, all that other stuff, right? And I'm going to get into that next week, okay? And just because you are a Virgo, not all Virgos are going to be experiencing challenges because they've already experienced that shit. So when I'm talking about them, I'm not talking about them. I could be talking about some of y'all who may have to experience some things that they've already experienced based on what's happening with your rising. Okay? But for a lot of you, this is going to be reality for you. What you perceive to be out of reach or unattainable, here what the magician talks about, oh wow, this is mine. This is why it says that magic, that you're able to actually get this through your own means, however that means for you, whether it's you actively doing something or not, something being brought into your life. Here it says what you need to be a success will manifest. But remember, the magician is Gemini and Virgo. It is the mind. It talks about the brain. How you think first is always important, because if you feel like a loser, if you feel like you're never going to be able to obtain anything, you won't. Okay? Here it says, if you believe it, you can achieve it. And that's what we learned when we were kids. And we just thought that was a saying, especially now as an adult. And we are in this kind of world. I don't know what world this is, but whatever, right? You're now in this world where you're kind of like you're thinking. And I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be the person who's going to tell you the truth. Sometimes the way certain planets are set up, certain aspects, the only thing you have left is your mind. Because there could be a whole lot of things that can get away from you. The only thing you have left is your mind. And the magician is saying that is where you need to keep. That is what needs to be kept. Now that goes back to the air element. And it says what? Your thoughts, how fast it travels, and what you do with those thoughts. Emotionally for you, you may be feeling down, but again, we're talking about being practical because we know that certain things are going to occur for you that you don't think is possible. That goes back to that blue moon that we saw the other day. The only reason why I thought about it is because that blue moon was blue and this is blue. Remember, it says God is going to make the impossible possible. The same kind of energy. We're getting the same kind of energy. Here it is again, same stuff. Okay? Same stuff over and over again, tell you the same thing. All right. So I'm going to put that right there. Now, I'm trying to figure out what last card I should use as far as Oracle. And usually I do come on Saturday mornings, so I probably most likely will be coming on tomorrow. But I want to see what card I can use. Let me see what last card I can use for today here for you, Virgo. Now, this is going to be for today. I'm not going to do tomorrow's. Tomorrow is a brand new day, right? Brand new day. So I'm going to be using one for today. That's what I'm going to do. One for today, and tomorrow's a brand new everything. But let's see what comes out here for Virgo. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I actually did it under 30 minutes. I was like, I got to get up out of here because I got to do Taurus. I got to do Sag. All right, so let's see. This is for, I could probably do this in front. Let's get to, this is for Virgo. Let's see what pops out. Fire Spirit. We're going to read that in a minute. Inner Strength. Believe that what's inside you is greater than any obstacle. This is bravery, courage, taming, and overcoming. Do not let these repetitive messages make you feel down, because a lot of y'all get in the comment section talking about, well, why is this already happened? I already told y'all, right? I don't leave y'all here pondering and wondering why this is occurring. Okay, you guys are being opposed right now. I don't care what degree you are in, you're being opposed. That won't leave until next year. And it depends on what else is being aspected. For a lot of you, you're going to be pretty much alleviated from some things. But Saturn is doing its thing, unfortunately. Okay? These cards are saying, come on now, Virgo, hold on. So you're not leaving out of here not knowing. Okay? It says that here it is. There's this inner strength that you're going to keep carrying on with. All right? Got a few more months. Hold on, Virgo. Now here we talk about the final destination and where you're going to go. Here it says, don't stop now. Exactly. Don't stop. Okay? It says, keep pushing. You're closer than you think to your ultimate aim, your ultimate goal. You're almost there when it comes down to your outcome. Same kind of messages. And you already know why. You have 2 planets that are opposing you. We're not even talking about what could be squaring some of y'all. So you could have 3 things. Here, fire spirit, it says a pivotal act will set loose a chain of events leading towards your desired goal. Hello. A pivotal time, a pivotal moment will set you free. Set loose these tight chains, okay? And lead to events or multiple events towards your destiny or your desired outcome. We just saw that with Final Destination. You see how they're trying to keep your eyes in the future? You see they're trying to keep you there and get you up out of this 3 of Swords energy. You do the healing right now. That's what they're basically saying. We need you to heal. Right now, you're trying to worry and you're worrying. You're thinking something is not coming. You're trying to force things to happen. The universe is like, you are not ready yet. Okay? In this moment, create. Okay? It talks about taking action in areas that you feel like you need to take action with. Your ancestors are here. I don't know who that could be, but for some of you, they're here. You guys are very wise, very rooted. I feel like you guys have, for some odd reason, I'm hearing, I'm guessing inherit some type of gift. And that doesn't have to be spiritual. You guys already know, I'm spiritual, but I'm not always this spiritual thing. Like I'm not, like we got other gifts that we have. Like some of you guys know how to sing, some of you guys know how to cook, some of you knows how to dance. Like there's other things that you have inherited that you can enjoy. Okay. But it does feel like there's something here that you guys have. And it is very like blood ancestral pattern like. And speaking of patterns, a lot of you guys are coming out of some type of ancestral pattern that was not necessarily the best. All right. I didn't have, my mom was not married. The mother wasn't married. The father was an alcoholic. Granddaddy used to be was an alcoholic as well. Okay, so we're saying that type of ancestral pattern that a lot of you guys are basically going to be breaking away from, that is also something that you're doing. And this is the reason why the universe is trying to get you to see something before you start taking off. That needs to be taken care of. Okay? All right, I think you guys got it. Virgo, I love you. Okay. Thank you guys so much for coming back to my channel. And again, if you guys are new, please like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you're interested in a personal reading, all the information is going to be down below in the description box. I'll see you guys later. Love you. Bye.